Good evening. My name is Elizabeth Pipko. For those who don't know me, I'm a daughter, a wife, a sister, an advocate, a model, a writer, apparently an influencer, spokeswoman for the Republican Party, and much more. But if you asked me to introduce myself, I would tell you simply, my name is Elizabeth Pipko, and I'm a proud American Jew. Everything that I choose to do, everything I believe in, everything that I fight for, stems from that simple fact that above anything else, I am just a proud American Jew. My parents and grandparents are immigrants to this country. Only recently have I realized the privilege that that awarded me. They took the time to teach me how lucky I am to get to call myself an American. Possibly even more important, they taught me what life looks like for those who don't. A few years ago, I finally understood why my grandfather spent as much time as he did explaining to me the evils that exist in our world. All the time I spent just happy to be sitting on his lap, he was spending the time warning me about those who want to destroy everything that I know and love. Today I look around and I wonder what my grandfather would say, how he would feel knowing that everything that he ran away from has followed his children and his grandchildren to America. Knowing that students were being assaulted in their classrooms just like my mother was assaulted in her kindergarten classroom back in Russia. And all for the same reason. They had committed the crime of being Jewish. I look around today and I don't recognize my country. The country that my family fled to for safety and for opportunity, and the country that I once thought would always stand for what was right. Instead, I see the flags of terrorist organizations in the streets, professors teaching our future leaders that our strongest ally is actually somehow the bad guy, and political leaders who are too afraid to stand against evil in the chance that it loses them a few votes. I think it's safe to say that the world is truly upside down. And while what we're living through may be a surprise to many, it's not for those who, like my own parents, escaped, for example, the evil of the Soviet Union for a chance in America. Some of you may know the name Yuri Bezmenov. Yuri was a former KGB agent who defected to the West in 1970. In 1984, he gave an interview in which he explained how those who wanted America's downfall would be able to change American citizens' perceptions of reality. He said that our perception of reality would change to such an extent that nobody would be able to come to sensible conclusions in the interest of defending themselves, their families, their community, or their country. Nowhere is that more on display than right now. At no point could I have ever imagined that terrorists could torture and murder 1,200 people on camera, post the videos of their barbaric actions all over the internet, and then gain the support of thousands around the world. I also could not for a second imagine that in my home of New York City, where a terrorist attack took the lives of 3,000 innocent people and changed New York and the world forever, we would see people waving the flags of terrorist groups and calling for the genocide of Jewish people. But that's because Yuri was exactly right. We've reached a point where white is black and black is white, where our new normal is having to explain that those who murdered and kidnapped innocent men, women, and children might not be the good guys, and that maybe negotiating with terrorists simply doesn't work. Last Saturday, I realized just how low we have fallen and just how badly we have failed. America's weak leadership on display since October 7th has played right into the hands of Hamas and our enemies around the world. And like the rest of the Jewish world right now, my heart is broken. To the families of those impacted by the atrocity that was October 7th, I pray for you every single day. You have my word that we will remember your loved ones forever. Now, I'm not mentioning the names of those who should still be with us today because I refuse to mix their memory with our politics. But unfortunately, we now have to view our politics in a different light. Some tell me they view this upcoming election as a matter of life and death. These days, I have a hard time disagreeing with that sentiment. So I will leave you all with one thing. Like most of you in this room, I'm tired of the pain and the fear that comes with watching America not be the superpower that so many need us to be. If these last 8 years have taught us anything at all, it's that peace through strength is the only way forward. Our enemies do not believe in diplomacy. Our enemies, like Israel's enemies, stand against everything that we know and value. There is one candidate on the ballot this election that we can trust to take on our enemies, to keep us safe, and to make us the nation and the light that Americans and all good people in this world deserve. The man who moved the embassy to Jerusalem, signed the Taylor Force Act into law, withdrew from the disastrous Iran nuclear deal, brought peace to the Middle East with the historic Abraham Accords, kept every single promise that he made to us, and who inspired me to stand on this stage and to advocate as strongly as I do each and every day for the country that I know and love. That man is Donald Trump. We have one chance to save our great country. One chance to again become the superhero that America was meant to be. November 5th is that chance. May God bless our incredible country. May God bless the state of Israel. And may God, please, say it with me, bring them home. Thank you.